Hey everybody, Sarah Howard Nelson here. I know my name, I do. I'm coming at you from Dunn Brothers Coffee in Hutchinson, Minnesota, where I'm on vacation visiting with family. And I just want to give a quick intro here to this upcoming podcast. I had the distinct pleasure of visiting with Janelle Anderson. She's hilarious. And I'm splitting her podcast up into two pieces, so that's why I'm talking here quick. Just want to point out that Janelle does a fabulous job of talking about how important humor is in dealing with chaos. And yeah, she's so funny. So this video is going to be in two parts, today and tomorrow. Make sure you don't miss tomorrow's episode. So hold on to your hats. Here's Janelle. Almost forgot. I had to turn the recording back on. If you guys have read my stuff, any of my stuff, my books, my blogs, whatever, sometimes there's some salty language. That is the case with my podcast as well, and definitely in these episodes this week. So be aware if you've got small kids around you or you really don't like it, there's some salty language. Okay. Enjoy. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Humor in Chaos podcast. I am Sarah Howard Nelson. I am life coach. I'm a resilience coach. I'm a certified art therapy practitioner as well. And as I like to say in all of my podcasts, when I remember, I am not a therapist. I am not a counselor. If you need those things, go find that elsewhere and then come back. And if you or if anyone you know would make a great guest on this podcast, shoot me an email at humorinchaos@gmail.com, or you can find me at my website, www.humorinchaos.com. Today we have a great guest. Please help me welcome with us to Janelle Anderson. And yeah, Janelle's got a lot of stuff going on in her life. Here is her bio. Janelle is a professional speaker, host and MC, a comedian, a transformation coach, and an award-winning realtor. You do a lot. She earned her BA in communications with a minor in sociology from Chapman University. Janelle worked in the corporate world in California until 2006, then went looking for her cowboy in the nonprofit world in Wyoming. Okay.
Didn't find him.
Didn't find him. Then moved to Boise in 2014, where she returned to her roots as a second generation real estate broker. Excuse me. And in 2018, after an ugly temper tantrum meltdown in the mountains, which mountains?
By McCall,
By McCall.
above Boise.
She unexpectedly discovered her life's purpose and mission. Since then, she has shared her signature program, The Value Impact, around the world, and even participated with it on a reality show filmed on location in New Zealand. These are all things I want to hear about. Outside of working in real estate, transformation coaching, and entertainment, Janelle loves to travel, cook, and expand her purse collection. I love purses too. And shoes. Matching. Yeah. She has a cat named Buddy who believes her life's purpose is to cater to his every need, and he's not wrong. And Janelle describes herself as a sparkly unicorn. My granddaughter would love that. Reminding everyone she meets that your value is not because of, it just is. Welcome, Janelle. Hi.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. Humor in chaos. I'm like, a check.
Well, I'm reading your bio. I'm like, oh my gosh. Went looking for a cowboy and then had a temper tantrum meltdown in the mountains. I mean, yeah, you obviously have been through some stuff.
Yeah, about that. Oh, not my finest moment. Well, so what had happened? So in 2006, I had finished a divorce. Um, I won't tell you his name. We'll just refer to him as Satan. And I thought that the chaos of those 5 years, that when I survived that, it's like, yeah, that's it. I survived. I'm a winner. Woo, look at me. And what I did not know at that time is that was the warm up. That was the pre-workout that ended up being an additional 11 years of death, destruction, mayhem. I mean, so divorce, marriage gone, kids
Right.
gone, then career gone, home gone, move to a new place. Okay, we're thinking this is going to be good. Oh, veto. My mom dies months after getting there, so there goes our whole family plan is now shot to hell. My dad
Eep.
goes off the deep end. My sister-in-law drops dead at 47 years old in the living room. My best friend moves away. I lost my job. My health took a dump. My money's gone. My reputation's in the toilet, and even the dog died.
Oh,
So when you said chaos, I was like, oh honey.
yeah, my list was long. Yours was more than mine.
So, there's the five main life stressors, divorce, major medical event, loss of a loved one, move. Like I just kept circling through going, I am going to master all of these. I am. I only did the divorce once, thank God. But I learned enough because it was a 5 year hellscape. So when I got to Wyoming, because positivity is my number one strength, I just thought I'm going to find my cowboy. I have family there. It was like going home for me. And the chaos continued, but so did my humor.
Mhm.
God. And so then when I moved to Idaho and to Boise, I thought, well, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing here. I don't know, I'll just pack your shit, grab the cat, let's go. And got here and I started watching the chaos, right? I started noticing everybody's losing their friggin' minds.
Mhm.
Like bullying off the charts, divorce rates. Orange County, California, last time I checked was like 75%.
Isn't that outrageous?
Why
That's
bother?
outrageous. Yeah,
Go
I
to
know.
Tahiti and see what works out. You know? Um, the mental health decline, and then of course you have the implementation of social media when all that happened. So chaos is everywhere.
Mhm.
And I started sort of the early variations of the value impact. It's like, hey, you guys, you're more than your resume.
Mhm.
Way more than your relationship status. You're way more than, what size pants you wear. You're way, but this isn't what the magazines and the media and the culture and the spin talks about. And that's how I ended up in the mountain. Yeah. When I say temper tantrum,
Yeah.
picture a 3-year-old in full on ugly cry, snot bubble, kicking snow, swearing, screaming, shaking fist at the sky. I mean, I was this close to throwing myself down on the ground and yeah, because what happened when I said I accidentally discovered my life purpose, I mean, I did. So I was up at this mastermind group and I thought, well, shit, there's some really cool people here and I don't want to blow this opportunity. Ooh, what do I want to put on the table? I don't need to talk about real estate. I can do real estate in a coma. I've been speaking of real estate since I was 4 because there's no child labor laws at the Anderson house. So my parents did this to me. So I was like, well, I want this great opportunity.
Mhm.
What's it going to be? And I hear that little nudge, and it's like, that thing you've been doing around town, talking to people, blowing their minds about their value and their worth. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. No, no. And the little nudge comes again. They're like, yeah, um, that's your thing. And I'm like, screw you, dude. I ain't doing that. And then, your consciousness here says, no, girl, man, I think he's right. I think that's the thing. I'm like, you shut up. Don't you take his side. You work for me, you know? And then they're like, ooh, we out. She gone full on nuclear because I was so in that chaotic moment, so overwhelmed to realize that I had a purpose
Mhm.
to impact other people in their pain, in their chaos, in everything with humor that was not real estate, not all the other traditional, not the corporate, not the nonprofit. And I'm thinking, what? And I
Mhm.
kid you not, after I got off the mountain that weekend, I had a phone call with someone, and that's where the reality TV show came. If I hadn't gone up the mountain and had a meltdown, I would not have been in New Zealand 8 months later filming a show.
Wow, you were on a real transformation track.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it wasn't the friendly, like, I'm like, can I get the kids menu? Like, is there something on here that's not like, Mount Everest? Like, everything was just intense. But I am so incredibly grateful because what that reminded me is that regardless of the degree of chaos, because
Mhm.
I'm the geek kid that won all the science fairs, so I want to put everything in a spreadsheet and figure it out.
Mhm.
Anybody else? Anybody else out there like that? It's not
Well,
just
that
me.
would actually be my ex, but
Oh,
okay.
okay, okay, okay. So I kept noticing a pattern when people would respond to the coaching, to the talking, to the concept of the value impact. And I was like, well, that's odd. How did I not end up at Happy Farms in a padded room eating pudding?
Mhm.
So I started watching the behavior patterns and the mindset patterns and their ability to have humor and, like you said, go all the way through. Don't
Yeah.
don't go under it. Don't try to go around it. Like, do what you got to do. But I realized so many people, when they get into their chaos, they set up camp,
Yes.
get a PO box
Yes.
in FMLville, any place you are, and that becomes their identity.
Mhm.
Their chaos, their victimhood, their story becomes their identity. And that identity, here's where it gets really slippery and gross. That identity becomes the identifier of their value and worth.
Yes.
And might, this is where you're all going to say, oh, shit.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's unsustainable. And so what I realized is I never got caught in that sticky, I've lost my marriage, my kids, my career, my all the whole list, right?
Mhm.
Why was I able to laugh through this? Why was I able to say, well, that happened, ran that into a ditch. Oh, daggone, look at that. And it was the gift of humor.
Yes.
Because I didn't start doing stand-up comedy out of the womb. I mean, you can ask my fam, and they're like, no, she talks like this all the time. But I had after you and I spoke the first time and we talked about doing this together, I had a memory come back. It was 2006. My mom and I were in a store. We were going to take a big old trip to Europe because the divorce was over. I'm going to go on vacation with my parents to Europe. And if I have to pay off that asshole, I'm going to take some money for myself. You know, I want to go to France. Where else are you guys going? Italy. I'm in, let's go. Right? So I take this chunk of money. So my mom and I have to go buy clothes, right? Because we're girls.
Yeah.
And we're standing in Victoria's Secret. And these yoga pants were there, and they're kind of like stretchy, like t-shirt material, right? And I'm not a size 6 anymore, okay? Because I like pasta. I live in Idaho. I eat potatoes now, okay? And I don't care. Okay, I'm fine. My soul is stunning. Okay, my waist may not be as tiny as it used to, but my God, my soul is blindingly amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm in there and I'm looking at these pants, and my mom holds up these things. She goes, "Oh my God, honey, you should totally get these. Be famous." And I said, "Mommy, if I wear those to Italy, all the cute boys are gonna ask me if I want butter with those rolls." Okay, my mom, she starts snorting. I thought she was gonna suck her head inside out. And then she starts digging through her purse. Like the way my brain is wired, like it just came out. Like, I just say funny stuff. She starts digging through her purse. Back in the flip phone days, right?
Yeah.
She has to call my dad because she has made this discovery. Like she's friggin' Columbus right there in Victoria's Secret. Like, I have discovered the whole new world. To call my dad, less. Yeah, no, everything's fine. Did you know that Janelle is funny? I mean, my God, Janelle is funny. Like she's made this enormous discovery that just changed the laws of physics in the course of human history. Right there in Victoria's Secret, has to call my dad and be like, Janelle is funny. I'm like, mommy, I've been here the whole time. Like this. How are you just catching on?
Yeah.
And when I was having that memory after we talked, what I realized is that was the perfect example of whose brains, heart, mind, and soul setting, that alignment, can weave into humor
Yes.
and glean the gift and the freedom and the release and the power of that. And who can?
Yes.
Because it
Yes.
is a learned skill, don't you think?
It, I, I'm not stand-up material and I'm not that quick on it, although there are people who tell me that I'm funny and I am very sarcastic. Um,
It's a
but for
beautiful
me,
gift.
it is. For me, those 8 years that I was in bed with lupus,
Mm,
my escape from it, my dealing with it and trying to work through it was writing. And so I wrote articles for The Mighty, which is an online publication for people that are going through. And I put a lot of sarcasm into that. And it really did help me because it got to the point where people would use it back to me, which was helpful. Like when I had
mhm.
to go do immense blood tests and stuff, and people would say to me, repeat back to me what I said, which is, "Oh, you're going to feed vampires again, aren't you?" Yes, I am, and the whole idea of being a pin cushion and stuff like that. And so mine was in my writing, and I needed it. I
Yeah,
I needed it to help me process because if all I did was sit, I mean, I was in bed. I couldn't get up. I wasn't allowed. So I had to be stuck in bed. But if I let my mind just be stuck there, then I never would have gotten out of bed.
I agree. 100%. So, because it's a small world and God has a great sense of humor, my mom, the one who made the great discovery about my humor in Victoria's Secret, also had lupus for 43 years. One of the first people in the United States to be diagnosed with lupus in 1964. They didn't even know what it was. So I understand. And I think it is an extraordinary gift that you were given to be able to, that humor is inside of you,
Yes.
right? It was in there the whole time. And what a beautiful gift to be able to allow that to flow while you're in your chaos, while you're in your trauma, while you're in your learning curve. But what I find is there's this fear, almost an embarrassment, or like, oh, I'm not supposed to be funny. Or, like we have the phrase too soon. And what I see is that the quicker you can get to letting it be funny and relax, the solutions come in, the breakthroughs, the ahas.
Or
And
even the ability to endure.
yes, because if you can't laugh, then why are we here?
Mhm. I had this neighbor at that time while I was in bed. I had a neighbor that had four young boys, four young hockey playing boys
God
who,
bless her.
yeah, yes, I can't
I
imagine.
shall pray for you.
I can't imagine. And so we were in Southern California, so they would play street hockey to practice for
Yeah.
hockey, and they would get really loud, or if they weren't doing hockey, they would be jumping bikes and stuff like that. And she came to me one day and just apologized. She goes, "I know you're in bed all the time. I know that you're sleeping a lot, and I'm sorry that my boys are making all that racket." And I'm like, "Woman, don't you dare tell them to be quiet. Don't you dare." Because I would get out of bed and open the window and listen to them laughing.
Yeah.
If I couldn't hear that life was going on, I would not have wanted to get up and join it.
Yeah.
So I said, "Don't you dare. Don't you dare." And they didn't know they were helping me, but they were helping me immensely.
But I think that it's kind of how you are. It's how you're wired. You were willing to receive that as a call sign, as a hearkening that joy still is in the world. It's literally
Absolutely.
outside my front door on the street. And somehow, some way, I don't know, but I'm getting there.
That's
It
right.
it's like it's like for like, right? When the birds sing, like you have the doves make their cooing, and then you have the meadowlarks, and they know each other, they call to each other. Humor calls to humor, right? It's like
Yes.
I hear you, I know you're there, and I'm probably not going to die today. Thank God, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because And I remembered being with my mom in the hospital one time, and I felt just this overwhelming need to be on, to be like the kids in the street for her in the hospital room. I mean,
Mhm.
I had my dance shoes, I brought my college textbooks, I was reading her. It's something to pull the mind away, to give it a respite from the reality
Yes,
of
yes,
laying in the bed.
yes, yes.
Sometimes you just need to know that there's life, signs of life. But my question that I ask a lot, because people be like, don't hide behind your humor. You need to be more real. I'm like, honey, you have the funny people are as real as it gets because we have already traveled from here to hell, hit the gift shop, picked up the tacos, and got back out. You
Amen.
want real? Find the funniest person you know. We ain't hiding shit.
That's
We
right.
we feel so much. We have been there and done that. We're not hiding anything. We're the most transparent, the most authentic. Because you know what? What you're seeing here is pain. We're 25 miles on the other side of that. It doesn't hurt us anymore. So I can call it what it is. I can diffuse its power. I can get on top of it and go, oh, aren't you adorable? You little thing with teeth think you're going to get into my soul. You're going to get into my mind. And the only thing you're going to be doing is eating this piece of cheese I'm going to shove into your face hole and tell you to bug off. Meanwhile, the person over here is like, oh my God, that's inappropriate. Oh my God, we shouldn't be laughing at that. Yes, you should.
Good.
Laugh.
Good.
Laugh it out. Laugh till it comes out of your body. Laugh until you're crying, till you break the seal. That whatever's the deepest inside you, laughter is the emotional lubricant that lets the deepest, darkest, ugliest, crappiest, spikiest bullshit come out.
Yes,
But everyone's like,
exactly.
oh my God, you should not be laughing. This is inappropriate. No, it's so freaking appropriate. It's necessary. It's vital.
It's the
We
best
get to
way to talk
change how
about it.
people perceive humor. It is a
Yes,
gift.
it is totally a gift. It is the best way to talk about what you're going through.
Yes.
It
Yes.
yes, because it
I,
actually makes it a safer environment to bring out the reality and face it.
100%. Now you're not worried about offending anybody. If I'm over here in the corner making a funny and now let's be real. There are certain things that will never be funny.
Yes, this is true.
And the
Violence.
people that know funny, that really know funny, they know where that line is.
Mhm.
Okay? Certain things are never going to be funny, but I promise you, there is way more out there that can be, gets to be, should be, would be funny, would heal a lot if we didn't have this prejudgment about, oh, don't make it funny. We might
Oh,
offend somebody. Maybe that person that you think is sitting in the corner offended is suffering terribly
probably.
because they're suffering in silence because everyone's standing around looking at each other like, oh shit, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Oh my God. And then I come in there, chewing a stick of bacon, like, what? I think it's funny. I think that right there is totally funny. And then the whole room kind of comes down. Like we're so worried about offending each other all the time.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm gonna make it funny, and then I'm gonna go, oh, you know what? And I'm gonna say it out loud. You know what? I just realized coming out my mouth and going back in my own ear, that did not land the way I wanted it to. And I'm gonna own that. I'm gonna apologize for that. 99% of the time, but it happens very rarely.
Mhm.
But if it does, own it
Mhm.
and move on and
Yes.
stay funny. God, I cannot imagine having done the 16 years of death, destruction. I lost every identity I had, every single one. And some I didn't even know I had. They came in, made an appearance, and still left. I'm like, wait, I was hoping to. Well, shit, there they. Okay, well, I guess I'm not going to have that identity. So I can buy some on eBay. Even then, the ability to keep my head above water in the chaos with the humor. I see so many people suffering And so like, how do we dig into this? How do we let people be their own funny?
Yes.
Makes you laugh is what makes you laugh. If it's not, you know, harming or assaulting other people, again, because we have a ridiculously high offense factor in the world right now.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, oxygen. I'm offended. I'm more into nitrogen. Nitrogen, you guys need to hold space for nitrogen because it's just not getting enough attention. I think it's rude that all of you people only ever want to talk about oxygen. Oh, what? And because she has the biggest voice, she gets the microphone, and then we all got to listen to that bullshit.
Right.
I'm not saying be disparaging or rude to her, but I'm saying laugh about it. Help her.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just walk away. Don't let the offense hang in the air. Like I'm pretty darn unoffendable at this point.
Mm.
It's not, I'm looking at what's the heart underneath it? Did somebody just make a faux pas like, ooh, too soon? Too soon? I mean, where were they really coming from? But again, there's this fear of constantly offending someone or hurting someone's feeling. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. We're so trapped in that. I think we've lost some of the ability to laugh at ourselves first and foremost. I crack myself up all the time. You didn't believe some of the stupid stuff I do. I mean, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You want to know the easiest trick to life? It's super simple. Here we go. Everybody on the planet, think about this, 8.2 billion people on the planet. Every single one of us got here through that door right there. Right there, whatever, there. It's called birth. We all got here the same way. None of us
Yeah.
hatched. None of us fell out of the sky. If you want to have conspiracy theory conversations about, aliens and invaders and pod people, that's a whole different show. And I'll show up for there too. And we'll talk about that and it will be funny. But we all come in that door called birth.
Yep.
Here's the other thing we know. We are all going to go out that door over there, that one right there, called death.
That's
Every
right.
single one of us. The part in the middle, don't be an asshole. That's it.
It's true.
That is how
True.
easy life actually is.
Yep. Yep.
So what do we do for the people? And I've got a family member like this, and we're in no contact right now, and it's a healthy thing. She does not know how to exist on Earth without some kind of volatile iron in the fire. If there isn't a chunk of drama, an offense, a trauma, if there isn't something, she doesn't know how to just be.
Yeah, there are people like that.
How do we help those people? How do we, and that is a form of chaos. It is a silent, subtle, stealthy, sexy kind of chaos, right?
Yeah.
But it's still chaos, isn't it?
Yes.
So how do people like you and I and the listeners here recognize that? If it's you, listener, and you're in the bathroom mirror going, oh shit, oh my God, honey, it's fine.
It is.
It's totally fine. You get to shift. You just get to shift. You just go, right? The whole human experience from first breath to last is shift, 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 shift. You to shift, baby.
Yep.
But people hold on to that, like this one family member of mine, because she doesn't believe she has any value or worth whatsoever if she isn't chewing on a chunk of drama.
Yeah. It's
And so the chaos keeps coming because
yes.
she has sent up a flare into the world, into the universe, into the friend groups, into the family, into the anywhere and everywhere. Drama, drama, drama. Pain, 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 drama, 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 drama.
Because that's where she thinks all of her identity is.
Well, because she only feels seen, heard, and valued
Right.
when she's got her fangs out. Like she will literally do this. I'm a bitch. Don't mess with me. I'm like,
Nobody wants to.
oh, honey, you have no idea. And the sad thing is, we've had these wonderful conversations about all the gifts and how like cool and talented and amazing she actually is, but she won't receive that because here's the thing: if your hands are full of
Mhm.
your trauma and your drama and your chaos and everything, and I want to come in and pour in and say, "You're awesome, you're amazing. Here, have a cookie." You have to let that go so that you
Right.
can receive that. So she's torn, but she has spent her whole life holding the drama and the trauma and the chaos magnet. She won't let go in order to receive.
Yes, I was just talking to somebody about that last night. I was explaining to them what Sean Atchor, the psychologist, he's a happiness psychology
Mhm.
guy, and he talks about the Tetris effect.
Mhm.
That when people who play Tetris a lot, they start to see their whole world that way, where they see Tetris pieces in everything and how things should be fitting together. And he talked about how people get into that negative mindset that they're just looking for those negative things to fit in. And he's, and he talked about, so I was explaining to this other person why journaling is important and to journal gratitudes because you start to change your Tetris effect and you start looking for things to be grateful for or things to be happy for or whatever it is you're programming into your mind
Mhm.
through your journaling. So, yeah. But there are some people who just they will not get off of that rock.
They will not. But here's the really, really good news. Absolutely every single human being on earth is wired for that. You have the capacity for it. You have the mechanism for it. Because think about it. Every baby that comes to earth, remember we all come through that door over here, right? Okay, if I put a baby in your hands, I don't have to teach you. I don't have to remind you. I don't have to go, now, Sarah, girl, hey, this is the baby. Okay. And I need you to like, take care of it and all. And like, feed it and cuddle it and, let it have a nap. And all. You're like, yeah, duh. Like it's so primal, so instinctual. It is our factory settings to recognize the value and worth of every single human being. It's really easy when they're babies. Okay. Then we start growing up and we start jockeying for position and we start questioning ourselves. And oh my God, they have a better car than I do. Oh my God, look at that job they just got. Oh my God, look what size pants. Oh my God, right? That's all learned behavior. And here's what it looks like in an instant when the factory settings show up. Look at any natural disaster. Look at any emergency. Look at first responders. Okay. My godson is police officer. He doesn't go running into a scene or a traffic accident or whatever and go, Did you, did you go to UNLV? Oh, shit. Well, okay. I'll call the ambulance. Just sit your ass down. It's fine. Don't die, okay? Like that's not what we do. When we see a child in harm's way, instinctively, factory setting,
Yeah.
we jump in, we grab, we pull, we say, strangers running into burning houses, jumping into bodies of water. Like that is who we are. So that's really good news. That factory setting is still in there.
Yes.
So you can, if you choose, I recommend getting a coach
Mhm.
to help transform and start using your original wires that were designed for humor. Hey, this is cool. I don't know how long I'm going to be on this rock, but I'm going to have a hell of a time while I'm here. Yay. Okay.
Yeah.
Or the learned drama, the learned identities, because like you said in my bio, your value is not because of it just is. Your value and worth is not your identities. It wasn't me as a wife. It wasn't me as a corporate executive. It wasn't me as a nonprofit. None of those will come and go over my whole lifetime. My values and beliefs will change and ebb and flow over my lifetime. But my value and worth as a human being is bulletproof, titanium, fireproof, and proof. I
Yes.
don't have to prove my value and worth to anyone, anything, anytime, anywhere, anyway, anyhow, ever. Ever,
Right.
ever, ever. Why? Because there's 8.2 billion people on the planet, and there ain't never been one of me, and there ain't never going to be another one of me. Tag, I'm it, honey. I
That's
am,
right.
I'm it. So when people can go, oh my God, like I said, I laugh at myself all the time. Why? Because life is funny. There's some
Life
funny
is very,
stuff that happens down here. Like I decided today, looking at life and my girlfriend, she wasn't feeling good. She was having her monthly, and she's like, "Damn, oh my God." I'm like, you know what? I need to call customer service in the human factory. It seems like a friggin' engineering design flaw for me. So this factory comes online around 11 or 12, but you don't want us to use the factory for at least another 10 years after that. So I'm going to deal with this bullshit for 10 years. Then I got this window in my 20s where you want me to use the factory and maintain it. But then in my 30s, oh no, don't use the factory because the factory's too old now. But I'm going to leave it online and make you deal with the bullshit of this uterus factory for the next 20 years. So 40 plus years of our life, we got to deal with this factory of bullshit and pain and suffering and stupidity and all the other, blessings that come with it. But you only want me to use the factory for this much time while it's online. Why not turn it on, use it, shut it off? I'm just saying, if I'm in the universe, that's how I would have set up the factory. Okay. So she looks at me and she's like, I don't know where this stuff comes from in your head. I'm like, because I can see she's suffering. I mean, this girl is doubled over. Okay. She ain't having a good day. Okay.
right,
Men folk,
right.
you've seen the women in your life you love. You know the oh God dang moment we're talking. My friend was having that moment. Okay. And I'm thinking, this is some bullshit engineering right here. And she's like, so I tell her that. She looks at me, she starts laughing. She's feeling better because now the endorphins and everything's moving through her bloodstream
Yeah,
and she's laughing and she's feeling a little bit better. She goes, I swear to God, I just want to follow you around and tape record the stuff you say throughout the day, just for when I'm having a bad day. I said, you know, I had a CEO of a company tell me that once. She goes, I just want to follow you around with a video camera. I'm like, that's fine, Bill. Let's go. Come on, pack your shit, get in the car. Let's go. We're gonna show property. And it's not a good property because I'm probably gonna say the F bomb a couple times. So, plug your ears now, in case you're sensitive. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. But it's that gift of being able to say, yeah, you're never going to get away from the chaos. Can we
no,
all agree to that? There is no escape. No one is coming to save you.
right.
Welcome to Earth. Here's your chaos. There's the McDonald's. Bye-bye. Well, if it's going to be here the whole time, why wouldn't we powerfully choose to use humor? It's its greatest kryptonite.
It is
Humor crushes the poison of chaos. It doesn't change the chaos. The chaos is still there.
still there.
But how you see it, how you move through it, how you benefit from it. Oh, what? Yeah, you can benefit from chaos. Call Sarah,
Yes,
she'll tell you how. Why wouldn't we?
right.
Why wouldn't we?
And as you already pointed out, it creates those endorphins that actually help alleviate the pain, whether it's the physical pain or the emotional pain. I mean, it's medicine.
Pain is pain. Yeah. Like I love your story about the kids playing street hockey out front. The sounds of joy.
Yes.
And
Were key to me. They were key to me to getting into remission. I mean, they
yeah.
weren't the only key, but they were an important key. And that's why I
Mhm.
told her, don't you dare tell those kids to shut up. I will be so mad at you.
I'm having a bad day. Turn it up a notch.
And you know, I don't believe I could have done as well
Yeah.
if it hadn't been for them out there making noise. And
Yeah.
I hope she listens to this. I hope she does and goes, okay, so she really meant it, because I know she felt bad. And I'm like, don't you dare feel bad.
Yeah.
So she,
I remember being so terrified. I'll tell you right now, every stand-up comedian, we're all terrified. Okay, just so you know. So give us a hug, pat us on the back, please laugh at our jokes. Okay. And,
I
and
know one, yeah.
and I do want French fries. Okay, bring me the fries. I so again, so 2006 in Victoria's Secret, going to Europe after the divorce, buying, yoga pants. So my brain works, right?
Yeah.
I had another memory, probably about 3 or so years before that. I'm in a corporate meeting and we're talking about some like, ugh. oh, stuff. And we're all sitting around the boardroom like, oh, shit. The CEO, the president of the division, of the Southern California division where I was at the time, we're all sitting in the room like, oh. He looks down the table and goes, hey, Janelle. I'm like, yes, Doug. Say something funny. I'm like, dude, I'm not a vending machine. You can't just throw chips and dip at me and think that it's just gonna, funny's gonna come out my mouth. Everybody in the room's laughing like I wasn't even trying, right? But that was the reputation I had. And so for the longest time, I didn't realize that that's how people perceived me. That was their experience of me is, you know what? If it's hitting the fan, you want to call Janelle. One, because she probably has a pipe wrench in her purse. That's another story. And she's going to make you laugh along the way. So it's like, wow, this has been a pattern, a gift of mine for the longest time. So, that conference I told you about, the mastermind where I was having the meltdown in the woods and, telling God to, suck it and I'm not doing it. And then my guardian angel's like, yeah, you should, that's the thing. You shut up too. Okay. I did surrender in the moment as I got terrified and realized, oh my God, like here's the feedback from the people that have heard this. So I go back in and I'm like, ooh, look at the time. Oh, the other team is waiting and we should go and you don't have to worry about me. And I'm trying to get out of this. Like I am like, oh, okay. They're like, come on, we've got, two more. And who's next? And so the next person goes, I'm thinking, I'm going to be the last person on the last day. I'm so getting out of this. No. They're like, let's just come on, press her. So I'm like, oh God, I think I have a thing. And they're like, what? I'm like, so, and in the room, I remember very clearly, and the people who were in the room, this is back in 2018, still come up to me this day going, Janelle, I have never laughed and cried and marveled all at the same time in the same room with one person. That is your gift. And I'm like, what? Telling a fish that its gift is to swim. The fish just goes, what?
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't always land with us. So those of us that are funny by nature and by nurture, we're not trying to blow you off. We're not trying to like, oh no, I'm not. I'm just no, no, no. We truly sometimes don't see our own forest through our own trees.
Right.
So the ongoing encouragement of like, oh shit. Hey Janelle, what? This is a dumpster fire situation over here. Could you like make a funny? Hold on, let me brew something up. Yeah, it's okay. And later, when I went through and said, and I did the whole thing about how I've been talking to people about their value and the this, and they're not your resume, you're not your, and the whole room was like, what in the what? And then I got accepted to that reality show for thought leaders and change makers, right? That was my pitch, and they were like, what the? That same room in the mountains, the mastermind gal who was running it, and I do have permission to share this with her. She changed my life. Her name is Shelley. She says to me, she goes, okay, this is a thing. You're absolutely going to do this. Your soul will not thrive without it. It's clearly like who you are, right? Fish got to swim, birds got to fly, Nelly got to funny and help people with their value. Okay, everybody agrees. She says to me, she's like, and I think you need to do stand-up comedy. And I'm like, and I think you need to stop smoking crack. And she's like, that. Okay. So that was the spring, that fall, that October. I ended up back on stage for the first time in almost 25 years because I had taken a part of myself in all of the chaos and put it in a box and put it in the basement of my life and shoved it into a corner.
Mm.
Anybody else done that?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And when I got back up on stage, so now let's review stand-up comedy. This was all my own content. I've written my set. I've never done this. I didn't open mic night this, around the region before because it was like you're doing this right now. And I was like, I wrote it. I literally thought I was going to drop dead. And my friends were like, just be you, just be you, just be. I called my friend in Nevada. I put her on a plane. I said, here's my credit card. I need you right now. 25 years of friendship. I've never asked for anything. Need your ass on a plane to come here right now. I'm dying. She's like, wow, okay.
I have a
So
friend
she
like
did. God bless Karen. And I ended up doing 2 sets. No one told me it was going to go down that way. I'm like, oh shit. So now I have to be adaptable on the fly. So am I going to grab onto the chaos or I'm going to grab onto the humor and let it flow? Thankfully, I grabbed the humor. So I come on and did the first set, came off. Okay, I didn't die. Yay! Is that Wendy dressed in a taco costume? God, that sounds really good right now. I could totally use a taco. My friend had another commitment, so she was walking through the convention center, right? I got back on, I did the second set. After I got off stage that night, and there's a lot of chaos, good chaos, just chaotic energy in the room, right? You're at a convention, there's doing all the things, you're a speaker and all that stuff.
yes.
I had professional comedians who had come to see that women in comedy show coming up to me. The CEO was like, what in the actual Janelle just happened? What? Like, what? This was in there the whole time? And I'm like, I guess. What? And they're like, for corn's sakes, what? And I'm like, is that okay? And they were like, it's beyond okay. Like, this gets to be who you are. Like, this is who you are all the time. And so I let the judgment, the fear, ooh, is that appropriate? Oh, I don't know. Oh my God, trying to make everybody like me. Oh my God. That I would do the wrong comedy at the wrong time or it wouldn't be funny. And it was all a lie. It's like, how many people, we all have chaos. Okay. Well, again, welcome to Earth. But
Yep.
not everybody gets the gift of humor. But I really think everybody knows what makes them laugh.
Yes.
So what's holding you back? Why? I'm not saying you have to get on stage and do stand-up comedy. I'm not saying you have to do that.
Yeah, that's not me.
That
That's not
that's not something that everybody wants to do. For me, it was a terrifying moment. And when you ask me to do something that terrifies me, I'm gonna have a meltdown. I'm gonna swear a lot, and then I'm gonna probably come back to you and go, okay, let's do it. Jump off this cliff right now in New Zealand. Oh my God, Yeah, I did that too. But the question is, what's holding your humor back? We know it's a gift. We
yes.
know it's the salve to the chaos.
Yes.
We know that it's the light for yourself and others to help
Yes.
them come through their own darkness, their own chaos. So that's the question. What's holding your humor back? Because I can promise you from experience, having put that part of myself being on stage in a box for 25 years, I came home and the next day I woke up still high and awesome. And I'm like, oh my God, it was the best experience. And then I bawled. I mean, I ugly grief cried in the bathroom mirror because I looked myself in the eye. Like when you run into an old friend you haven't seen forever, and you're like, God, oh my God, oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing now? Are you still dating that guy? Did your kid get into college? Oh my God. And you have that chaotic, frenetic, yay energy. Okay.
Yes.
So on one hand, I'm running into this old part of me, like, oh, I haven't seen you in forever. Oh my God, I love you so much. I've missed you terribly. Oh my God, I'm living in Idaho now. And da, 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 da. And then there was the other part of me that was like, oh, where have you been? I did that to me. I did that to me. I put me in a box, wrapped it up with some duct tape, threw it in the basement, and kicked it into the corner. I did that. So it was this very interesting experience of being so overjoyed to reconnect with one of the truest parts of who I've actually been my whole life.
Mhm.
And the reality of, oh, ooh, that hurts. I'm the one that put her in a box and cast her away. Ooh, shit, ow, ugh, oh. So please take it from me. You are wired for humor. Everybody knows what they think is funny, and it doesn't have to match. Okay?
Right.
Okay. Isn't Janelle just, oh my god. She's so funny. Oh man. But she gets the point across, chaos is not our enemy and humor is our way to get through it. So, humor is a great way to get through the dark times of life, but it's also a great way to, rediscover who you are when you lose yourself. Uh, yeah, she's great. Don't miss tomorrow's episode where, yeah, she's got lots more to share, and yeah, she definitely understands humor big time, and what a gift it is. So, see you tomorrow.